Hey guys, I'm here with MHP Haunt. I'm so excited to be with you guys today. I was so impressed with your haunt. Could you introduce yourselves for our audience?
I'm Aurora, the creator, designer of MHP.
I'm Kyle. I'm the sound designer, co-creator, spooky conspirator.
These people are so passionate. They put so much work into their haunt, and it really shows. It makes it so beautiful. And they are going to give us a little tour today, which I'm excited for.
Lights on tour. Good evening, test subject.
Good evening. Test subject. But
are you here for N-Type Research Laboratories?
Maybe.
This is our third year here.
Oh, okay.
And only our second haunt. So we've done one other before, which was Shook.
Okay.
Which was a crazy, pride haunt.
That's so cool.
Yeah, over the summer.
I love that.
They bring back because that was tickets were selling like crazy.
Yeah.
This year.
We'd be so down.
This year was a little bit different. It was our first time doing a pro haunt during Halloween. A little bit about us.
Yes.
We grew up as a home haunt. So this is still our next step from our humble beginnings, but we were a home haunt in Thousand Oaks. Home haunts it's all made out of passion and love, and that's what we still carry on with this. We do everything ourselves too, so it feels like a home haunt, that's the magical part, freedom.
Yeah, we only do this because we love it too, the passion is what drives us, and all the other sprinkles are on top, the extras, but yeah, it's because we love this, and we love bringing the energy to the haunt season, and now we've gotten to be in LA, and that's great to be more local toward this kind of crowd. So this year was Ghosted, Reply or Die.
Ghosted, Reply or Die. All right, let's see MHP Productions finer details of what was in the haunt.
Yes, come on over to the this is the exit, and
that is the exit.
Yes.
Oh, I am leading us through the wrong way. That's never happened before.
Never happened at this location.
Type of the maze. Yes. Sorry. I hate myself. So this is the facade to Ghosted, Reply or Die. Ghosted, Reply or Die. I thought of that concept and was has anyone ever done a haunt or something about that idea of cell phones that are portals to another world, just kind of ghosted, but taking it literally. But it's something I have to explain because usually when you get ghosted, the ghost is the person that ghosts,
right.
The person that doesn't respond. But we're taking it as if you're getting ghosted, so turned into a ghost. Get it? Reply or die because it's if you don't reply, you'll die because they'll come back for revenge. So it's a revenge plot story. Awesome. And it's just in a haunt, you want to have the characters. You want the characters to have a motive.
Yeah.
Because then there's a reason for why they're scaring you, and it's not just you're just here to go through and just get scared. That's normally what haunts are. But we wanted to make you have a purpose as a guest. So you're a test subject coming to an experiment, and this is a very confusing experiment. You're not really given clear definition of what's happening and what's going on. Everything's kind of vague and confusing, but you're here for Project Gateway, which is the secret name that they call pretty much sacrificing you to this weird gelatinous portal blob that eats people that ghost. So pretty much our test subjects our researchers are righting the wrongs of humanity by sending those who ghost to die.
Into the portal.
Don't ghost. That is pretty much the end of the story. Do not ghost. There's a moral here.
That's even more sinister than I thought. Well, because I got the impression that they didn't really know what they were studying, and that they were just throwing people in to kind of figure it out. And there was this ghost creature. Oh my! I love that they know. It just makes it so much scarier.
Right. That's why they were fake. We've never done that before too with our haunts, is having the attendants and such actually be in world. It was always welcome to the haunt, many people, but this was like everything was in world from the moment you got to the experience. That was something we wanted to level up and do. And with the whole lab code.
You might recognize a former scientist, you know, welcoming you know, from the bars at the front.
Yeah, that was, but yeah, they're all in on it. They're feeding you to the portal. And,
I love that.
Into the Ghosted Relm. That's where we all end up.
But first we had to inspect our test subjects. We had to ask a couple of questions, you know, while you were waiting in our lovely waiting area where there were some N-type infographics and some different story bits that were kind of playing.
I thought that was like a really cool, like kind of fun thing, because one of the things that I feel like a lot of places struggle with is the line area, is the waiting area. The queue, it's so... it's just like it sometimes detracts from the haunt. Like if the music isn't right, it really can bring down. But because you guys had this every step of the way, the music, the lighting, the graphics, and everybody being in character, it just really made it like more and more and more sinister. It just kept like, as you were coming in, it just like, it's easy to buy into it. And I think you guys did a good job of making it cheeky enough too. Like there was a little bit of humor just like woven in there, and I think that tongue-in-cheek quality also lets you buy in a weird way. Like it seems counterintuitive, like it would take you out of the experience, but because that element is there, it almost like lets you transition. So I think that was also very clever.
I love that. Yeah. Thank you for noticing that, because the humor is an important part to this whole thing. Is like, we want to just make people laugh and smile and scream. And when things are funnier and scary, it's just like more tolerable, and it's not as serious, you know?
Yeah.
There's definitely comedy. But like just like this, like you're going into here and you're clearly not supposed to go in. So
it's very inviting, right?
I mean, right?
There's no entry.
But yeah, this is our roll-up door to the studio. We just roll it up, and it's like the garage, you know?
Really?
There's the maze right in here. So this is the first.
Thank you.
This is the ante-room. It's our decontamination waiting room chamber. It's very, very trippy. I have a video up there of the maze running while we're in the room.
Oh, that's awesome.
But, just to remind.
Just to remind us, like, what was going on with that.
Yeah.
I remember, like, watching it and just, like, almost, like, busting up. And I think it was, like, really fun that it, like... kind of like it almost made the scary stuff like take you by surprise, because not only do you have like the fun things in the graphics, but like when you look up here, like just like the little like ghost emoji and this like little like face that's in with all of these like calculations and the DNA, it's just like those are the kinds of fun things that sometimes distract you, so that like the scariness can actually take you by surprise and be more effective.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I mean, you're just supposed to see this out of the corner of your eye. You don't really have a lot of time to like take it all in, and that was sort of the point, was just this like disorienting room where like, you're not sure what to focus on. You're getting read like confusing information. The video was saying like, you're gonna go through a cyberlinknetic transfer, and it's just like, what is that?
What does that mean?
That sounds a normal term.
And, but yeah, so pretty much N-type discovered back in the 40s or 50s or so.
Yeah.
N-type discovered this blob of supernatural matter, and it began to grow and grow and grow into a portal. And when they began to research it more and more, they discovered it was actually the realm where the ghosted go. So, they discovered in order to satisfy the vengeful souls inside, they must link them with the people they were ghosted by. So that is sort of the science behind it, and you'll see a lot of graphics on there, specifically like will literally describe that sort of. So like arrows pointing to like the portal and saying how like this universe it's a cell phone, but in this universe it's like this weird blob of matter. So cell phones are pretty much the portals to the ghosted realm as well. So that's how we're all being trapped in there. So it's just this sci-fi, like, fun story. It's so sci-fi, just very Stranger Things, you know.
Well, and a little bit of Ghostbusters too. Like when you explain it that way, then I'm like, oh, interesting.
The linking of it is very Ghostbusters.
And the ghosts have kind of, you know, maybe escaped, you know, something's going wrong during your tour, and then you kind of notice the screens are blinking, and that's definitely
that's when you're just like, wait, am I supposed to go somewhere? And I almost like that you don't tell us to leave because it makes it more real. It's like, okay, well, I can't stay here anymore, but like, where do we?
Everything goes wrong.
Alarms are going off. You know, Aurora added a fog blast into this pre-show room,
so
kind
cool.
of, you know, a little bit into the run. We kind of tweaked some effects and just made it a little more intense, you know, to kind of give you that jump scare from the, you know, ominous welcome video, and then everything kind of switches, and then you're like, what's gonna happen next? And like you said, it's like we've never done that too, where we've left you in a space and kind of let the storytelling like direct you, you know, toward the next room. So that's kind of where we left you off, you know.
Now,
here.
just out of curiosity, like in terms of like this year, we've done a lot of like analyzing the mazes as well. How well did that work in terms of, were there some people who just stayed in the room, or did most people figure out that they were supposed to keep moving?
Actually, a lot of people would go too early. So some people, when the alarms were going, would actually go and think that it was time to leave. It actually says on the screen, proceed to gateway.
Yeah.
It's like after the sirens and everything. Most people would go at that moment, but some would be like, do we stay? But then when they saw that, they would head in there. But part of it was like, oh, there's clearly something going wrong. That's the challenges of a haunt, is just you can't control what people are thinking or what they're gonna do. So we really had to like put signs up in certain areas. Like, this is emergency exit only. Like it's hard to control where people are going to go, especially when they're scared.
The fear does.
Well, especially like me, I feel like I'm like a haunt's worst nightmare. Like I'm always the person who like wanders into the place that I'm not supposed to go. But I think that's
we
the
need
beauty
those people, though. No.
I think that like the live theater aspect, I think the fact that things can go wrong is actually what makes it more fun.
That's why theater's fun. It's always unpredictable.
It's a living, breathing, you know, thing. You gotta like be on your feet and, you know, and see when, you know, someone, you know, maybe the portal was a little, you know, disorienting and, you know, didn't know which way, but that we had cameras throughout the experience too, so we were able to kind of see when there was a small fire, you know, and so to say, you know, kind of start, so we would, you know, have an attendant or one of us kind of go if we needed to. But this was like our first like maze where we've kind of really cameraed like every visible like section, you know, especially the kind of, like Aurora said, the parts where it wasn't as more like, you know, show heavy, less like right this way, you know, you can see where to go, right?
The theater, the live aspect was one of the main elements of the show. So everything is actually cued. So for instance, this scene that you go into is cued live. This whole pre-show was on one cue, so that was one challenge too, was it's all meant to blend together with the rest of the maze. So when this starts, this also will cue the sound for this next hallway and that room. So it is, and that is something.
So wait, so when I went through this room, this was actually a room that you are supposed to be able to go through.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Oh thank God.
Not this way, but yes, this hallway. This is an emergency exit. Never really used.
Until I accidentally came through.
Hey, the Ghosted Realm can, you know, the cyberlinknetic, you know, vaporization can get
again, like every haunt should just like have me go through to find out like every wrong way like a person can go in a maze.
No, we need to, that's why we have test subjects. Exactly.
No,
so you were testing our
to go right.
Exactly, yeah. But you know, so kind of coming from here, this like cued chaos, it waterfalls into the next kind of two show scenes or scenes that you're in, and all those audio cues are kind of like one after the other. That's kind of what Aurora was saying.
It's
why
the sound. We talk about that because mainly like this is a sound experience. Like from every beat is hit with sound, and you are supposed to be going like sort of at a certain pace to get the whole experience, because everything is timed purposefully. Speakers are placed purposefully.
Oh yes,
it's like it's like theater.
My dears,
my
little I love the way that we kind of were able to like put them above the scene, since this one does have some height, because when you're in here, the above the scene is not, it doesn't really exist to you, you know? When these like overhead lights are
dark,
on. Right.
Like, and then it's just the lights.
And we had our skylight even covered too, you know, so it was, everything was sealed in, but this, I love the kind of the way that we were able to like rig stuff above scenes.
Yeah,
you know,
speakers
that's so helpful.
Speakers are hidden, and that's sort of just like, we care about details and stuff with haunts, but not like, you know, of course there's details here and there that aren't like perfect, and tape and stuff. We're not that crazy detailed with those kind of things, but what matters so much to us is like the execution of like the show tracks. So it is those beats that really matter to you. It's the scares like Horror Nights that have the sound and lighting, and it's the like projections that time up perfectly. That's what we care about more, is just the show and the story, and you're hearing and seeing what you're supposed to at that exact time.
And I love that you went for that, because like you see in a lot of haunts, they go for more like, I guess the comparison would be like video game scoring versus like movie scoring. Like in a video game, like music is created to kind of like play over and over again, and you not to notice that there's like, sometimes there's a shift when you go into battle scenes, but then that battle scene music will continuously play because you don't know where the player is going to go in the video game world. And so we see a lot of that kind of principle in haunts, is like, you don't know how long it's going to take them to get through the haunt, you don't know. So like we get those same kind of like musical choices a lot, and it's very difficult to do this, to actually like you would in a movie, which is like a controlled environment, like have those specific like musical story that's playing as you go through like the space.
No, I love that, because that's definitely true. I don't think there's only 2 sections in this maze that are like kind of like what you said, the video like always on. Everything else is just cued, so it is kind of like that movie scoring where it's like we're trying to like definitely orchestrate the moments, you know, give you that vibe for that section. It's not, you know, as much as kind of like the, you know, the hour-long spooky haunted house. I love that, you know, like I grew up having those CDs of, you know, the screams and the chainsaws, and that's what inspired me to like do that more, is, you know, you got to start somewhere, like my playlist of thunder sounds and, you know, Tower of Terror music. But, you know, you grow, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, like room 1 needs its own show track, room 2 needs that like waterfall. It, you know, it's kind of the evolution of how we've like thought about, you know, teching our mazes has definitely been like a good one. You know, I'm proud of it. I think we've, you know, and there's only like more to go. It's, you know,
we're running stuff off a computer, which is the first time.
And QLab, which is our application that we've kind of, you know, taken more look at and seeing how we can use that for a haunt, because lots of theaters and theme parks will use like that kind of software to control stuff, but this is obviously like, you know, a smaller studio, but that makes it a little easier to kind of like drop and drag things, and, you know, even plug and play and see like what works in different areas. So yes, that's my little nerd 2 cents on the tech side.
This is the gateway like entrance, and when it told you on the screen, you proceed to the gateway.
So proceed to
this
gateway.
Is the next scene. This is the tallest scene we did. This scene is 14 feet tall, and this is the gateway, the portal.
Welcome to the gateway.
Blob. This room is pretty grand. A big feat of this room is the tile, the bending tile. This is, if you're a scenic person, this is just tape and joint compound. It's
really?
So all this tile was literally taped, and then I rolled on joint compound peeled the tape off, and it created the like melty tile effect.
That's so
I had to
cool.
like bend the tape to make it look like that. But
Oh yeah. Plenty of piles of
much
of
tape.
tape on the
Well, and I
in
love
the
the
trash
kind of
bin.
like vintage scientist aesthetic that we're getting. This was the one that was the spot that was the most where I was like, oh my god, they're definitely Stranger Things fans. Because
I was like, I want to do a gay Stranger Things house, and immediately, this
this is
blob. Yeah,
she was born. Yes.
this was born, but this was so much work. Like this scene, I think, went up December of last year. We
Yeah.
slowly worked on it.
The structure
but yeah,
started.
everything is just super like DIY, super cheaply made. And the lighting, we were able to put like really high up and stuff. There's a fog tube
Yeah.
right there. The fog was something too.
oh wow.
Ding,
Yeah.
ding.
Another
it's
thing I
hard
would
to
have like
see.
never seen.
I mean,
Right.
you're not supposed to see. It's just kind of like the
Exactly,
fog
yes.
is just like billowing in your face randomly. I love when you can see the fog pouring out and you can
Yeah.
like walk through it. So that was all timed with the whole show as well. But yeah, this is the first time we did this T-bar like faux ceiling too, which was really fun.
Well, I love your guys' instinct to like do more with everything. Like honestly, the texture is always like what makes it catches the light. Like sometimes in haunts when like you just have like a wash of black or just like a black curtain,
Yeah.
it can like kind of take away because like it's almost like a break between moments even when it's really really dark, whereas the texture like always gives you something to latch onto. It always gives that grittiness and that like it makes you uncomfortable when something's like too like clean. It doesn't like do that as much as like when you have texture.
Yeah,
Exactly.
people are like, oh, that's
Everything is textured. I mean, like, we used everything from Miss Maze specifically was built from scratch. So these used to just be flat walls, and it's like you could draw on tile. But yeah, the texture, everything is has texture. Specifically though, with this theme, everything's like bumpy and gross looking.
Oh yeah.
A blob. Like,
Yeah, you went through
Exactly.
cans of froth pack, like the insulating.
yeah.
But they sell tanks of it too. So
Yeah.
it was like step up from the little window one and kind of going all at this. Aurora
Yeah,
was,
everything's Lowe's
crazy.
and Home Depot stuff.
Yeah.
Like, this is bubble wrap to do this green goo like effect, and
you just heat it up, and all this right here, she just kind of stretched
that's
it
all
and
bubble wrap.
heated it up, and then paint some, and then added these little like wood.
I would have never
Guys.
thought to do that with bubble wrap.
Right?
Like
My favorite
ever.
thing is finding little things like that, like little DIY methods to do stuff. It's just from a home haunt background. But this method, actually, the bubble wrap, I learned from the Stranger Things Instagram or Twitter. I think it was.
Yeah.
They posted like all of our stuff was pool noodles and bubble wrap and stuff. I was like,
love
bubble
that.
wrap.
Really? Bubble wrap?
Well, I'm gonna try that out, and we did, and I like it. Green bubble wrap.
It looks amazing.
But yeah, so this thing up there is like, the control systems of N-type are helping to minimize the growth of this portal. And all of these like wires are going into the portal mouth. These are to like track the data of what's going on inside.
Running test tubes into
Yeah.
And I love how this is like just like a really cohesive marriage of like, this reminds me of like the room where they're like testing 11, but this is like where it reminds me of like the actual like portal into the upside down.
Yes.
And so it's like different elements from the show that you made your own and like married in such a cohesive way.
Yeah, I was literally like, I want, like, we need an observation deck, like Stranger Things, HHN house reference photo.
Oh yeah,
And,
beautiful.
And yeah, so this main scene, I was just, I wanted
So
the Stranger
cool.
Things portal, and then the eyes were such a cool element.
I love the eyes.
Glowing green.
But yeah,
It's just like in a swallow.
Oh yeah.
but yeah, these curtains actually, come down normally. So
Okay.
it was completely blacked out for the haunt, so you just couldn't see in.
Well, which was nice because then you didn't see the phones that are coming like just yet.
Right. It was supposed to just be like a black hole that you're entering into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Onward.
I love this. I love this so much.
The gaping entrance of the portal.
Yeah, so this is very dark. This is the part we don't have any really lights on stuff. This is actually a secret.
What?
That goes to,
that goes to
the
a
rest
totally
of the
different
maze.
spot.
Yeah.
Nice access way.
And then this is another one too, but it's kind of hard to open. But yeah, this is sort of like the esophagus of this like portal. And,
Yeah.
and when it is swallowing like the victims and ghosted people, the cell phones all get caught around here.
Oh,
So
okay.
the cell phones are all from the people who got ghosted, and they're just like trapped forever in this limbo place.
I love it. And
this-
is the creature kind of like using the phones to like suck them in, or?
So it's this just like blob thing that pretty much what happens is this linknetic goo is from them linking, you know? So this linknetic goo is what the ghosted like feast off of pretty much, but N-Type is harvesting it as energy.
Okay.
But the portal grows angrier and angrier and bigger if you're not feeding it people. So that's the whole thing.
So that's why they bring in the test subjects.
That's why the test subjects are brought in and lured to their death.
Their food for the monster.
Yeah.
But to your knowledge, you're just participating in a harmless study.
Experiment. But yeah, something's clearly going wrong because like there's N-type like tubes and stuff that are completely covered now.
Yeah.
So it's just when you're going into their worlds, they're coming back into ours.
Yeah.
So you hear right before you go into the portal, you'll hear the alarm saying like cortex breach, emergency. So that's what's happening. Is
it's
they're
growing
entering
bigger.
our world as we're going into this realm. So everything is like going crazy in here.
I love that it's going beyond their control and that you have this detail that's like showing that.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. And there's tubes like up here and over here.
Oh, yeah.
And then, this green kind of goo transitions to more of a cartoony look.
Yeah.
So it goes from being more realistic out here, and now it's turned to like the Knott's Berry Farm, like kind of webs.
Well, kind of like Knott's Berry Farm webs, kind of like Creep Show, like
Yes.
Exactly.
like,
Just
very much that like
neon.
comic book like aesthetic.
Yeah.
It's like slime spider web,
Yeah.
anti-genetic, mixed with some gooey phones, some cracked
some
iPhones.
fake,
That was like one of my favorite parts. It's just like all the phones like lighting up like down the hall. I was like, what?
Oh, yes.
Those are actually replacement car monitors, for like cheap cars or
Or the
whatever. If you-
GPS, yeah.
GPS monitor things, but they're hooked up to these media players, and we just screen recorded like funny things and put little effects over them. They all make sound too. They're just turned off right now, but that one will just be like forever. It's so annoying.
It's just forever dialing.
And like no one's picking up.
But when you're walking through, and
It does make it eerie when you're like going through, because it's not forever when you're just like passing by.
Right, and you kind of get a little, on each phone there's a different track, so it's like you are hearing just tons of different little broken tiny phones as you are descending further and further.
Descending, being swallowed.
Yes.
Yeah, this is the this part is super, super dark.
Yeah, it does get a bit dark.
But this just back here and right behind you is just the first scare. Yeah, this is where the first scare is, our first scare spot. This is like a hide is what we call it. But yeah, they have a foot pedal trigger and when they hit that.
So that's how the light goes.
That's how the lighting and sound goes. Yeah, so
That's so cool.
when they hit those, and then there's another one over here that's a button for this side of the scare.
Yeah, because like when you come around, there's more. That's so cool.
So it's like a triggered scare is what it's called. And it's just foot pedal is hit, and then it cues a pre-recorded sound and lighting that we recorded. And this first one is a ghosted person that just got ghosted, and so she's kind of like spawning in the Ghosted Realm. So she's just spawned here, and she's like, hello, like, where am I?
Okay.
And then while that's happening and you're turning the corner, she then is fully transformed, because when you get ghosted, you're transformed into this vengeful like monster.
Yeah.
So then she's transformed on the other side where she says goodbye. So it's hello, hello, goodbye. So
That's so creepy.
yeah, so that was just, this is a fun one. It's probably my favorite spot in the whole maze. It's so dark, and people were always like, oh my god, where do we go? And it's fully enclosed too.
I loved the wig for her. I loved how that was so stylized.
Thank you. I styled that wig myself. Yeah, no, I've been doing like drag wigs for fun for years. That was like the best one that I've done for sure. Thank you.
It was very cool.
That. It's like I just wanted these hokey kind of like dramatic looking characters.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm bored of like boring hair. Let's just give her like a big drag queen Marilyn like hair. Yeah.
Well, because even I feel like sometimes when we get just the straight or the long stringy hair, it would be nice to get like wigs. Like if you're going straight, go full Samara. Like
exactly. Just commit to the wig game.
Exactly.
Commit to the wigs. Come on. Yeah, so that
haunts our theater.
Yeah.
Haunts our theater. Glue that wig down. We had our fun with the wigs and characters. But this character was just like ghosted girl just arriving in the realm. So, but around this corner. Here, I'll stay here so you can see. But this is where she came out again. Yeah.
Very, very deadite sounding, it was...
And contacts in her eyes and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We like to do... Yeah, the contacts, if she didn't have contacts, it wouldn't look as spooky looking.
Yeah. Well, and the contacts, like, catch the light in an eerie way.
True, yes. This light was blue, so it made it pop, for sure. But this is just a little... boo, you thought you were gone, but then she's back for more.
I even love how here it's not just a curtain. We have these like little fringes, these pieces that are just continuing on with like kind of this like gross, like sludgy feel. It's not, it keeps giving it texture. Yeah. Which is so cool and so creepy.
So this is burlap. So all of this material is burlap sprayed with insulation spray. Yeah. And then this is just, little web stuff. We have rope and spray foam. And then, this is just like creepy cloth curtains.
I love how the rope, like the way that you guys like kind of like sprayed and gutified it, it almost looks like the blob's entrails or something. Like it looks like innards, and it's just like it makes it even more like gross.
It's getting like more and more abstract. It's like you don't even know what part of the inside you're in right now. Kind of. It's totally just like the rabbit hole, and we love the mulch too, just to give a little border of the it's just rubber mulch. In the past, we've used just wood chips, and then we kind of saw in our Horror Nights ventures this year, we just saw like, it's rubber mulch, so it doesn't attract ants too. So
that's smart.
But it definitely gives like a little. It just kind of brings in the pathway, just to
it adds to that chaos look,
and disguise the our studio floor, just to give it a little extra.
Now this was the part too that I felt like looked the most like Alice in Wonderland. Honestly, like this was very like rabbit hole for me, like with the phones, almost like it feels like they twist around you in a way, which is really cool.
Oh, that was me just texting him. It says duck you, and then I corrected it to F you. There's just like a funny typo. Where is it? It's coming up. Just text me. You're gonna die. Text me. I'll kill toy. I'll kill you. Duck you. There it is. I don't know. It was just like
and then
so silly.
The devil.
It was
emoji.
fun. It was fun screen recording these, just to make all the phone content.
And it's on a free text app. I wanted it to look a little different than like iMessage. So you see it says like free text.
We didn't want to pay for the full version. Why?
I mean...
Oh, yeah, this is the way.
That's the way that I accidentally
we discovered,
But this is this is a helpful little emergency exit. I constantly, when I'm like when I was running back and forth, I would use this. It was really helpful. Just sneak in here and yell at Kyle and all that stuff.
What are you saying?
This one is a Tinder account that I made just to do this. I promise.
They're very authentic.
Yeah, all these guys are just getting rejected and spawning in the ghosted realm immediately. So
Link.
I also love just the little flip phone that's here. You know that this thing has been active for a long time.
Exactly. From the start of technology.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got your slide one right there too, the little LG.
Oh my god, I had one of those.
Right, same.
Yeah.
I loved those. I thought they were so cool.
They were so you could go like this and slam it and it would never break.
Yeah, or just the dramatic hang up, slide close, or the flip phone.
You can't do that anymore with your phones if you throw them.
iPhones just, they end up cracked,
and shattered. But this is only. Please, we have light in here.
This is
all really
phone case of mine.
With the
Leota.
Madame Leota, yeah.
I did have a pop socket, just add. She got in here. Little Easter
She made
egg.
an appearance.
Exactly. She's from Realms Beyond too, so it makes sense that she could be in the Ghosted Realm too.
Oh, this is some new lighting that we'll give a little tease. We are doing a Valentine's Day version. So
really?
Yes, we are.
That's so exciting.
We're going to announce it soon in January, but a Valentine's Day version.
Are you okay if people hear first?
Yes.
Oh, of course.
Yes. This is the exclusive announcement.
If this is the unofficial announcement, there you go. That's what that is. Those green lights weren't there before. We're just testing new lighting and stuff. The Valentine's Day version is gonna be since it's already the end of the world at the end of the story, this is just even more chaos. So they're desperately trying to save the world before it ends one last time. So it's all just going to be flashier and different
and maybe
sound
we're
and
promising the test subjects love while we're at it. Maybe they
maybe it's Project Valentine this time.
That sounds...
You find out why nobody wants to be with you and what's wrong.
I've been wondering for a while, so no.
Yeah.
Maybe.
If you guys do the real version, let me know.
Oh my god. Oh, we just say we're doing a haunt and no, we just ghost everyone. That's the next version of this.
The best publicity. No,
We're gonna help you all find the perfect person for you. You get no response.
You buy a ticket to nothing. No.
Oh my god. Yeah. So.
Yes.
But so that's what that lighting is. But
these phones get more and more, stroby as you kind of come on. They're not as much of a real screen. And
I love how it's so recent. Read yesterday.
The phones are just
but still the chaos of it's been 24 hours almost and they haven't gotten back to me.
And it feels like you're dying. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
There you go.
It's not even that they didn't see it. They saw it yesterday.
Right, yesterday. The worst. There are probably at least 10 of these creepy cloth curtains throughout this whole thing. They're really fun.
I love it. I love how textured they are and how weird they feel.
How Halloween-y they are.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds you of just Halloween. I don't know. Walking up to a front door and you have to go through those curtains and stuff.
Yes.
This is This is Bob and type. No, no. This is a lab worker that got sent into the realm that got attacked by a cyber web.
Who did not get paid enough for this.
No.
And no, he's
workers'
a
comp
victim
will not
of
cover.
Oh my god. This is a grinder ghost victim. So the grinder ghost, which comes from here, got to him.
Okay.
He wet his hair or something. But yeah, this is sort of they're trapped in the web, but it's also the zero gravity thing.
Yeah.
Like things are still like floating against the walls, like his
And getting just like, it almost feels like getting absorbed.
Right, right. Yeah, he was here to check on like, this pipe that was leaking, and it just went all bad.
It's very...
You can demonstrate.
Who is it? Go
Me? Yeah, this is another like hidden speaker thing.
Oh, cool.
When the scare happens, it's important to have the sound like right where the person's coming from. But yeah, this is where one of them was. They have like a button right here, and they would come out and get you. And this is a victim that has been here for a really, really long time. No one's answered for a while.
No one answered.
It's been years, but yeah, this is the darkest part of the maze. We want an important part of this to be like the contrast. So everything has contrast, like lighting, colors, and then of course the dark and light. Yeah. And then the sound too will go from like, oh, it's kind of fun, to then like, this sounds like you're being like grinded almost in this scene. Yeah. And then, so, yeah, this part was very dark, especially this corner.
Oh yeah.
People were sort of like, where do I go?
Good thing this is nice and sturdy, because probably had a couple people running with some courage toward it. But you know,
they were just like, I'm going.
Because it takes away your logic thinking when you're in the dark and the sound is wrapped around you, and it's kind of the darkest part thus far. I think that's why people were like, Well,
I don't know if you guys intended this in this section too, but I love like the curvatures of everything, like this architecture of like, in a weird way, like something totally separate. It almost reminds me of like Indiana Jones. It like has that kind of like doom vibe where it's like this, especially like with this guy who's been here forever, it's like this old like section inside the creature where like, like it's been here for a long time and it's still as deadly as it was, like as far back as it was its creation.
Totally. This part I'll sneak in. You can go that way.
Yes.
I'll just demonstrate
into our very dark.
I remember this thing like so uncomfortable when I felt the fur.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
So that is like, ooh, this character came out here with the light.
Yeah.
And it was just right in your face.
On camera, like, you guys couldn't see this at all because this was, like, a really dark section. But, oh, my God, the feeling of this fur, like, especially when everything else had been so, like, kind of, like, more, like, hard or, like, bubbly up until that point. This was so uncomfortable. I was not ready for this transition. I was just, like, my whole body just, like...
Texture change.
Yes! Complete texture change. What was behind this texture change? Like, what was, like, the...
Well, Knott's did a fur hallway in their Tooth Fairy maze that they did years and years ago, and I've always been obsessed since then. And and anytime I think of like a void, like a black hallway of some kind, I'm like, put fur on the hallway. Just put fur on the walls. Make it a fur hallway.
It's so uncomfortable.
It's weird. People aren't expecting it. It's just wacky. I love it. Thank you for noticing, because this was not cheap. This was like yards of fur. It's like,
oh my gosh. Yeah.
There's another hidden speaker.
Oh, there's a speaker right here.
For the second grinder.
I love how you guys like put fur on it.
Yep. Yeah, it had to kind of still be blended with everything, That's awesome. And then through the very dark, intentionally, dark, some just, aerial speakers that are playing this definitely spirit void now, because I think you've moved out of the organic part.
Well, and that's actually so smart, like, to have it right as we transition with this, like, we get this weird feeling on the wall and the music is blasting.
Oh yeah, and this is my like kind of Mario ghost section, because I just put a couple little like Luigi's Mansion types, little like flutterbys.
Well, and it's fun because like this is like, it's creepy, but it's also soft with the fur. So to have those like little blips.
Exactly. This is a kind of another like fun moment after a dark and gurgly moment, and then my Haunter Queen's
this
favorite
is
room.
like I was so impressed with this. Like, even looking at it, like, with all of the lights on, it's so disorienting. It's like, it feels like right and wrong at the same time. Like, the room was like how it was supposed to be, and then something happened.
Yeah, it's as if like the room has dropped into the ghosted realm, or like the realm is coming into the real world.
Yeah.
Like, or you're kind of seeing into the world through a glitch. There was like a big glitch projection that was on here.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of like the realities are kind of melting and flipping, and yeah, this was our scare. I think this one's on. It's very quiet though.
This is another spot.
So that,
I remember that.
that was her speakers blended here. But yeah, this was the like ex-girlfriend, crazy ex-girlfriend, text me back, you know, and her bedroom.
And another space where like I went in the wrong direction.
Oh yeah, and I was actually this character that night, and I was like, I don't know what I did. I was like pointing or something.
Yeah,
I think
you played it off really well, because like I was like you went that way and I was like, oh no, I don't want to go there because she's creepy. But then you're like,
not the first person to do that, for sure.
It's not. Yeah, it's not necessarily clear. I think
like
the
when this gets like really close together, like
so hard.
it looks
like, where do we go?
Yeah, it just looked like a bed. It didn't look like there was something in there. But I love it so much.
A lot of the times I would like jump out to scare and then go like this and then just like hold it closed.
No entry.
Someone's trying to go, I'm like
that way.
No, yeah.
And it took me a moment too. I was like looking at the bed, like, what am I supposed to do? And then I noticed, I think, a little bit on the bottom, and I'm like, wait a minute. Yep. And I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
So we call this room Good Morning Baltimore, or the vertical bedroom technically, but Good Morning Baltimore because it's like Hairspray.
It feels very Hairspray with the colors, like 100%.
You know, like the opening of Hairspray, she's in her bed, like standing up, and that was always such a weird,
so
like,
wacky. I know.
visual.
I know. I love it.
Yeah, and then her phone is kind of in her sheet. I was gonna cut the screen out of the sheet, but I was like, actually, it kind of looks ghostly.
It does,
and it's just going from like
it's fading away. Like the phone was there, and it's like coming out. Yeah. I love her
weird.
tarot cards.
She's a weird girl.
And
she's messy. She's like all of us.
But she's a musician of some kind, obviously.
Did she for her drawing figure, did the arm like fall off, or did she rip it off in a rage?
Yeah, the latter. But this is actually that face, which gets not noticed a lot, that's actually, you see it in the pre-show video, it's the portal when it was smaller. So in the pre-show video, it says like what started as a small form of anti-genetic matter. Yeah. It shows like a panning photo of that. So this was technically the big gateway face when it was a baby. So you kind of just like see it randomly through her like mirror.
Well, it's almost like as things are collapsing in on itself, like time is also collapsing in on itself.
Everything is kind of getting more and more.
Kind of like there is no time in this world. It's just like everything has been squeezed here for...
It is, and it was, and it will be.
Exactly, yeah.
There's some real Polaroids from
this is all so cool. No, this is all framed out this way too. I built this whole wall as a normal door wall. Yeah. And I literally just rotated the panel. So this can actually open if you try, but it's nailed now. But this is definitely the most work was put into this room. This room is like really pretty.
I'm glad that you did. It was so worth it. It was so cool. And it feels like someone lived here. Oh. Like it feels lived in. The tissues, like you said, the Polaroids. Is that even a receipt? Oops.
No, it is.
Oh, you're okay.
I'm so
I can never come back.
That's been like that.
No, she's.
Oh, okay.
No,
Thank God.
that was the wear and tear of the actual
People like
run.
coming through all the time.
You just reminded us we need to fix it before I know.
I did him a favor. I didn't break any.
Exactly. We forgot about her, but
No.
yeah. All the little. There's a lot of Aurora set dressing, just kind of real receipts and.
It's so
Kyle's
cool.
face is up there.
Yeah, a little Polaroid picture. It says him with a heart.
Well, and the lipstick, like she kissed the picture.
Right.
And like her crystals are with her like nail polish.
No, you see crystals and then you see those cards.
Yeah.
Oh, girl, run.
Those are
She's
actually
haunting
the
you forever.
right. Those actually are the. We're not fully educated into
Oh,
tarot,
those-
but
Yeah.
we did
bad
kind of we
things.
just look up the unfortunate cards
Yeah.
that you pull.
Right,
and
she
so,
got the tower, which is like one of
Which is the worst.
yeah,
So
that is
unfortunate.
that's not good news coming towards her.
The ceiling fan is like the most DIY thing.
It's
I
so
had to
cool.
make it very lightweight.
You're right.
So it
It's
wouldn't
a
fall.
Well, yeah, and so it would spin too because
Yeah.
like, these blades are made out of like foam board.
Okay.
But normally it's so heavy, the spinning mechanism couldn't spin it.
Right.
So I just made it.
We just traced the fan blade, the real fan blade onto some.
It's just for that
That's
one
so
effect of
smart.
like.
Oh, it's
look
going
back,
sideways. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like gravity
just-
still works, but in a weird way. Like things are still going on as you're
Right.
traveling.
It's
Still.
part of what makes it so disorienting. Like that was the biggest takeaway I got from this place. I was so disoriented, especially coming in from the darkness. Like the more I stand here, the more I'm like, okay, there's a floor. Like I'm not dizzy. But when I came in, I was like, whoa, like I'm gonna fall. This is crazy. My brain can't make sense of where everything is.
The gravity is definitely askew.
We're so used to it now, but
Right.
yeah, it's like what?
Or some photos of you've taken a photo of it and then rotated it on your phone, and
Yeah.
it looks pretty normal. 'Cause
Yeah.
normal ways, it's like. It works like both ways. It's interesting, and then you got to find your way in.
And you gotta find your way.
into the
Which I just almost did not because I was like, but this is my favorite like transition ever.
Okay, it goes from just,
We get the really old phones.
Yeah, she's
so
gloopy.
this room is,
Went through a lot of phases.
yeah, it went through a lot of phases, so this was kind of a last minute room.
Okay.
Blacklight is so fun. We never really like
Yes.
played with it that much before. So yeah, just figured, this is a fun little transition room. We ended up fogging it up a lot in here, so it was like more hard to see. This room is changing a lot for the next one. Though.
Okay.
We had there were things we couldn't do because of budget and stuff.
There's
So-
always budget. There's always time. There's always like.
But you still make, we
Always.
could still obviously like utilize the space.
Yeah.
And this one was like definitely a sound heavy room. It was
Yeah.
the like inside the phone audio with like the
Yeah.
your call has been like doo doo doo, like all the little
Yeah.
kind of missed call,
It was an
direct
audio,
call.
room.
Oh, yeah,
and
there's-
then this is all the spray foam, link kinetic
Yeah.
material is all just like tripping out, and there were some cell phones that fell off over here. Oh no! But yeah, but the ones that are working are like
Are like spinning
They
around.
prevailed, yeah.
It's supposed to be just it's a transitional like trippy room. These were all strobing too.
Yeah.
So it made it feel like, oh, where do we go?
Well, and I think trippy was like a good choice coming out from that room that was already really trippy.
Right.
It's just like, it's a good, like, we're going back into darkness, but it's still all over the place in the best way. Like, it's all chaotic.
Chaos. Yeah.
It's even more trippy and less.
It's the only like completely ceilinged room. This is actually like a loft that I built to store stuff. So up here is like boxes and stuff.
Pumpkins. Foam pumpkins, of course.
and
Yeah.
such. But yeah, This room went through a lot of different stages.
These mirrors are cool because they make it feel bigger.
Oh, yeah. So it's a subtle little mirror, kind of, what is that called? Shopping, grocery store mirror effect, where it kind of makes the aisle look, bigger. But
the little, the fridge
very
mirror.
subtle, like out of the corner of your eye. Yeah. But this is another, this is a transition room, and then you're back into like a more open room. And this is as above, so below. This scene is where you walk in and this party, you're witnessing like, people dancing and such, and there's a party going on, and then it melts away down here into the Ghosted Realm. So that was sort of the effect. We just wanted like a harsh line separating these two universes, and then the projection melts, and then right when the blue starts flashing down here, this character jumps out. And this is just like a very ghosted character with like wires all over them and stuff.
Like they're like the next step from like the ghost that we saw earlier. Like when they become like really just like enmeshed with the creatures.
It took like another step into the like cartoonified, almost like ghosty like look of it.
Well, and even more sci-fi too.
Yeah. He had that was a fun. In that mask actually was blacklight reactive too. Yeah. So the lighting in the room was complementary of like that character too. It kind of, the lighting kind of worked as his like trigger lighting too.
It was like his introduction.
Exactly. Yeah. The whole kind of scene worked with that moment. Definitely.
Yeah. You even have like the fun, like kind of like party flags up there that like bring us into those colors.
Yeah. Maybe they, they were just trying to throw a little party and everyone,
and all of the were haunted by all the people they didn't invite.
Or and it's like
lighting goes. Sorry for that jump.
Wait, to throw me off.
Impromptu tech rehearsal.
I wanted that reaction. Yeah. Sorry.
You got me.
This is, I was literally up controlling all of this. So that's how this whole scene was. It was on an iPad, and that's quite an iPad. That's like a big heavy duty.
Dad. It's like the mom iPad. Yeah.
But
don't take that one to Disneyland and try and take photos. I've seen them before too.
Really?
I've seen an iPad just being held, but it's nice that we're gonna get a little hand grip for it, so that way next time we can kind of be like little show control, kind of mode.
You could just see like how I'm really glad you did that demo for us though, because you can see like break down how intentional all those sounds were in sequence, like how it all worked together.
Right. Sound is very in the background to people, which I think is a good thing. I think if you can pick out sound, it almost is like...
It's like you did it wrong.
Right. Well, and because people accept the sound as like part of the whole experience. So I think that is like a successful thing to me. Of course, I love when someone notices the sound, but I also love it when it's almost just such a full thing in their head they can't like pick apart the layers. It's like,
because it just feels like it's part of the character, the experience, or like
just the world.
The world.
Yeah. So this guy was like a glitchy, like kind of scream little like monster sound that we kind of took an old sound bite and made into like this new trigger. Yeah, Aurora kind of tested it for you.
It's almost interesting. It's almost like the ghosts that have been here longer are like also more in the present or in the future, which is kind of like a fun aspect to it.
Well, maybe we're learning more things that we didn't.
That was
that was very insightful, though. I was like, "Whoa, my gosh, that's like story that we haven't."
That's digging into the ghosted lore deeper than we have.
But see, you are a reader though, and so I know that you love to like kind of get behind like
I really
the
do.
story. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that definitely, I love that. There's like enough kind of here to like even like sink your claws into, There
really is too, and I feel like that one of my takeaways from film school is that sometimes, like, as we're creating things, there are things that we intuit. So even if it wasn't like intentionally supposed to be that, because you had all of these amazing elements coming together, like, it still kind of, it became that still, and I think that's just as valid and just as cool.
Right. Or off of that, like, I just told Aurora, like, on opening night, I said, I don't think I knew what Ghosted was until just now, because it's almost like that, like, brushes down moment where it's time to share it with the world. It's like, now that's something different, because people take it as something else than what we, you know. It's
100%.
It's like, art is so subjective, so it's like totally to, like, walk away with, like, your own takeaways, like what we wanted, you know, people to kind of have with this. So yes, it's so cool. All of it is just so cool. I love the little, like, that was such a that's such
like
an Aurora
the floor
thing.
that's like coming
Right.
No,
apart.
it's such a her.
kind of like a sinkhole look, but it's not supposed to be a sinkhole.
It just looks so
wanted that
Disney-esque.
look. I don't know.
It has like
reminds
a
me of
little
that.
bit of that, like, brown, like, cottage, like, you have that kind of, like, romantic vintage feel.
Yeah, no, it is, yeah. And then, like, the little, I love that.
The
you
things
can
that
see
made
all the-
Snow White so scary.
And then you look back there, and there's some of our props. That was from it's Angela. Hi,
From
Angela.
Sleepaway Camp.
Yeah. Sleepaway Camp and the Funkins and.
There's actually we have some, like, real solo cups up there, like the mini ones.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I think
They're
there's
so tiny.
Aurora has done, like, for Carrie, actually, when we did our shook thing, she did a fruit punch, like, bowl, like but that was like she
was, like,
poured
epoxy.
epoxy, so it looked like it was,
spilled punch
you know, the Frozen kind of effect. I think, like, you know,
So cool.
that was the idea, but we just put Gatorade in there, and it's kind
gone
of
down.
evaporated.
Since Halloween.
Yeah, you can see
You can see the level of evaporation.
you can see all the fruit flies drinking away. Yeah.
Oh, that's so I love your guys' books up there too.
Oh gosh.
Oh yeah, you can even see the Stephen King and
Christmas Carol.
Christmas Carol. You know, no one cleaned up after the party. They're
Oh, they're
leave your shot glasses on the
Ghosted.
bookshelf, why don't you? Like, thank you.
But onward,
Yes.
this next scene is another transition room. It's like, this is like almost it's a figurative part of the portal goo. So it almost looks like mitochondria, like, and stuff. But this was just like an LED hallway. We have this EL wire here, and this when it was triggered, would flash like lightning.
Yeah.
There's like a thing I'm testing a new little effect, but yeah, these are like phone cords that we got. So you're literally like walking through phone cables.
These are all zip tied above you.
Oh, okay. So they're like really. I was like afraid to like run into them too hard, but they're really on there.
Yeah, these are
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's on. It has a little just like I did like a little wire like X, and then I just zip tied like all of them, so you could, because you got to plan for people like
to just like yank
and to try and take things that aren't supposed to be taken, you know, that kind of thing too.
No, come on, Viva.
Well.
But luckily we had respectful guests like
Okay,
this
that's
season. Yeah,
good.
there wasn't really any kind of like
People trying to
in a
destroy
past one. I've seen someone walk toward a curtain that was just a doorway into another room and just yank it down. So it was none of that, you know, kind of thinking was implemented here. Luckily.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
I love how you guys like mix the chords too. I love like we have these ones, like
these
the
old
old
guys.
like home phone chords.
Yeah, we just wanted you to be going through all the wires of the.
Yeah. These were like, we had to heat gun them though, because.
Oh yeah, they stay so like wrapped
So
up.
crinkled up. Yeah.
But yeah, this was the this is where the realm is kind of like shattering and breaking open. This is like the start of the explosion of the Ghosted Realm.
Yeah.
And so this character comes back and has a second scare here.
Well, this is like so trippy. Like, I don't know if you guys can tell on camera, but like
it hurts your eyes kind of.
Well, yeah, like even because like when it was blinking, it was even more so. But like the more I sit here, the more I'm like, wow, like
Right. It's trippy to look at.
Yeah.
It's the color. I'm pretty just like the color of the light.
The blue.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, this.
It's like your eye can't catch up, like
Right.
as you look from side to side.
Yeah. And then you're going, from another tall scene to something that is like covered and just kind of you don't know where a ceiling is, and so it's definitely another like change.
I just appreciate that you guys even put so much work into these transition spaces, so it never feels like you're out of the maze.
Right.
Right, like not just like a black like hallway, like oh.
Yeah, it's still like everything feels intentional and feels like a part of this creature and this portal and this world.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's she's definitely. This is like the most broken abstract.
So loud.
Yeah. There's a little. Maybe you have a little warning. But,
Your ears if you don't like loud sound.
very whippy,
I love like the gross squelchiness when it comes back.
Yep. Yeah. It's very. That one is a lot of distortion, like on the sounds to get it to be like very like gnarly sounding. Because these aren't your freshly ghosted girls anymore. These are your more like creatures.
Demonic.
Yeah. These like
ferocious.
are the like shattered kind of souls. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then, as you make your way.
So this is like, as I said, like it's kind of like you hear like the rumbling happening, and then it just turns
this
from
room
like
so
blue
much.
to red. This room, I love it too. Let me get the iPad.
This was like honestly my favorite. I felt like this was like such a successful mesh of like sci-fi and horror, because it felt like it was very like Hellraiser meets Star Trek.
Ooh, I love that.
Yes.
Okay.
I love Hellraiser. That's a good.
Hellraiser with the gutsy kind of feel and
just beautiful. Like there's this beautiful feminine quality to it, even though it's like shattered and broken and like I don't know. And I, like whoever was up here, she like that creature was like.
Right. Just a ghoulish looking.
Ghoulish, but it was so horrific and unsettling, but beautiful, and I loved it.
Thank you for noticing. Yeah, the beauty of that character specifically was like an important aspect. She's the ghosted queen, so she breaks open the portal, which she breaks open the realm, and she's the one who ends the world technically.
Oh,
so she is like the one who. She's a mental health advocate, at least.
She saves us.
Right. She's like, I'm going to free you ghosted souls.
And end
from
all
your
ghostings.
shackles
Yeah, exactly.
And end your suffering. So, she is beautiful. no,
she's up here.
But that mask that we got for her was this designer on Etsy.
Yeah.
It's really cool. There's like a hair right in my eye.
I love Etsy.
Does really, really incredible, what are they called?
And
resin masks.
There we go.
Oh, okay, resin.
He does these like resin masks.
Yeah.
And we found that one, and it looks like sad,
It's like a sad ghoul face.
I'm obsessed, and
she's a lonely queen.
Yeah, like she has just a sad face, but then like a really deep, like scary voice.
Yeah, she's saying, possibly the tagline of the house, which is reply or die, and it's very like I'm gonna
play it.
Yeah.
But it's turned down, but I'll show you too, like this queen/finale.
Yeah.
I cue from the booth this fog effect.
Yeah.
But not the beginning of the trigger. So this is cued by the actor up here.
It's kind of a combo.
And then I'm hitting the fog.
Wow.
So, and then that leads into the finale. Yeah, so she blasts the portal open and sends you back to the real world. And there's a little green laser that's here.
Yeah.
That was creating this like kind of curtain of green that you went through. But I just wanted to just blast people with fog in their face as they exit.
Well, I love like the almost like the spaceshipy transition, like musically in, and then like the almost like rewind sound that you get on the end with like the shattering effect.
It's like everything's kind of just like, you know, I was thinking like multiversey almost, you know, where it's like everything's breaking apart. It's like, you know, like you said, those like digital like kind of sounds. And I just wanted the like Ghostbusters like then die. Like, I just love the what's their name?
Gozer?
Come on, are you exactly Gozer?
Her like voice.
Exactly. I just was obsessed with that. So we wanted our kind of like villainess, you know, slash heroine, you know, to be freeing all the shattered souls and kind of, you know, saying we're gonna get revenge in the next and in the rest of our story. Yes.
I love it so much. I love how she kind of almost feels like, again, like Hellraiser, like a Cenobite.
Yeah.
Like, because the Cenobites are like not really evil. They can just be like used to like a specific person. Yeah, they're
trapped and
and it feels like that's what she is. She's so powerful and she has all of this like cosmic energy and power, but she's also trapped and she's like gonna break it. I love it.
She's been heartbroken too.
I love it.
She's the queen of her realm, ready to take over the world.
Yeah. There's like some projections too in the scene that are kind of amplifying it. It's like some electricity and then like this kind of like ripple effect that is just
it made this to like look more like glass when that was being projected, which was really cool.
Yeah, it definitely gave her that like kind of aura of power and it kind of accidentally looked like she was projection mapped, but I mean that we could say that, but you know the whole scene was, which
it was all in white.
Exactly.
The projections like worked on her body well.
Yeah, it definitely created a cool like effect set like after the fact too. Yeah.
I loved it. I feel like this is like an amazing like I mean she throws you back in, but like a great like finale for the world, like for this like cosmic place. It's so cool.
Definitely the most booming kind of part that was that left people like feeling you know like what? Yeah, they were like, oh my god, like
it made the next room really confusing because the next room you're back at the facility like
suddenly thrust back in.
Yeah, just like spawning back at the facility like, oh, here we are. So that's this last scene, which was the end of the world. And
here we go.
It's the end of the world.
This news channel's very to the point, you know.
This wall here, see that piece of wall that's on the floor?
Yeah.
That, we have to, you know, open and close the roll-up door to do the haunt.
Okay.
So that wall piece, we just like
goes back
on and off, and just to take that up and down. But yeah, this is the Sector 7. This is like a storage room is the easiest room to do in a haunt. And you're running out of props and
decor,
stuff.
Right.
You just throw everything in the storage corner.
Yeah, so this room may change for the next iteration, but this is, you're back at the facility. They've clearly gotten to this poor lab worker, and
you could not pay me enough to work at this place.
No.
Dr. Copula's had way too long of a day.
But yeah, this is the end of the world. This monitor just tells the end of the story, kind of easily spelling it out for you. Just like, okay, there it is.
End of the world. I love the ghosted are back, like in because it's almost ghosted. It's like they're known, like they're back though. It's like
it's a world where they've already existed.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe you know the real ones know what they are and stuff.
This is the whole time. This was actually a sequel, you guys.
Oh. This was us setting up a pre. Yeah,
exactly. You were setting up a prequel.
Just the groundwork.
Yeah,
this sign.
Oh yeah, there's a sign and stuff. But yeah, this was like Another quick sort of room that this is one of the last rooms that we did.
Well,
so we didn't have the most time.
What's funny too is like you guys are saying like you threw this together, but to me like it still feels very intentional. It feels like you were blasted, like you were in this facility, you like somehow got into the portal, and then it just blasted you back into this closet, and you were just like
exactly.
I like you didn't like the portal didn't know where it was gonna spit you out.
Right.
Yep.
The ghosted queen did not have a GPS.
She didn't have a plan. She's just like, I'm ending this.
I'm opening and closing that.
Yeah.
Or keeping.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. That's it.
And this is where I was gaslit.
You were gaslit.
This is where I was gaslit.
Right. Gaslight research laboratory.
What happened? Yeah, I don't remember anything weird happening inside.
I was like,
That was the best.
I love that. She's delusional. Okay, thank you.
We've rewatched
Our scientists
are so funny. Like to
Our
me,
scientists were very sassy. No,
It was
so
so
fun.
great though, because like everything inside is stylized. So I love that you went with that, like as you're coming in and as you're leaving as well.
Right.
I wanted to stress people out a little and make them just like, I thought we were going to a haunted house. Why are they asking me these questions?
Right. Or you're out and you're being asked, like, how are you feeling?
Or how is your heartbeat right now? Yeah. I just got out of a haunted house.
Yeah.
What are you asking that?
What dating apps have you been on? Oh, wait, what?
I wasn't ready to answer that tonight, but here you are, so.
But that, like, love how, like, I feel like the whole fun of horror is like being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It was so great.
I love that you guys came in blind too. I didn't want to warn you about the entry process or, because I knew we would figure that out, fitting, all of our test subjects in the same group, but it was so fun to have you guys come and then now come back and like see the decision, like how we kind of came to all of it.
I'm glad you got to see it all now. And
I'm
really
glad
appreciate
too.
Everything. Like
Yes.
you noticed details that were like, let's see if people notice this, and pointed it out.
That's kind of why we do those details, is because when people do or go through again or tour it, it's like that's why we do it. It's just to give. There's so much to kind of just put all of our stuff out there too.
Well, and I feel like those are the details, and I feel like sometimes like people don't think about this, but those are the details that even for the people without discerning eyes, like peripherally, they notice. Like there is a part of their mind, their body, something that is taking in that information, and so it makes the experience that much better. It really enhances it, even for someone who's not looking for it, even for someone who hasn't like been trained to look for it.
Yeah.
So I think that it's just so smart to like really put all of those details in there, like physically, musically. It just heightens the experience so much. I want to thank you guys so much for your work on this. I was
just
so happy.
Fun,
Yes.
doing it. So
Thank you for
appreciating it. Yeah, seriously. Thank you.
Well, you guys should definitely check out MHP Productions. You should check out their haunt coming in Valentine's Day. I'm so excited.
We just announced now. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, I don't know, anywhere. But yeah, thank you for coming.
Yes.
I'm
Thank you
so
so much.
happy to be here.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you guys for being a part of us. Like, subscribe, check out all of their social media that has just been said. And we'll go see you guys in the next one, and we'll see you guys in February.
Don't go.
See you soon.
Bye.
You appear to have made it through successfully. Could you look up this way, please? And this way. Wonderful. How are you feeling?
A little disoriented. Was that supposed to happen?